Hey, Roy! Is it really true that you moved back in with Grandma?
It is, but wow, I guess word must travel really fast for you to have already heard about that, huh?
I'm just wondering why you never talked to me about this before. You know that you're kind of putting Grandma in a tough spot, don't you? I mean, it's not just you moving in, you also brought your wife Harriet too, right?
I did, but I don't really see what the big deal is. I mean, we're all family, and Grandma really shouldn't have a problem accommodating the two of us.
Of course we're all family, but don't you think you kind of dropped this on her suddenly?
I don't get it. What do you mean by that? She's always talking about how she wants to come and visit.
Right, but the last time you were living with her was when you were in your 20s, right? Besides, coming to visit is very different from moving in. You know that, right?
Are you talking about how I had to leave because it was becoming too much for Grandma to deal with? That was when I was younger. That was then, and this is now, okay?
But you really did do a lot to hurt Grandma, and I don't think you've ever taken accountability for that.
Except that I literally just did. I get that what I did when I was younger wasn't right of me to do.
Well, I just really hope so. I mean, she's the one who raised us ever since our parents died when we were little. But you always seem to hate living with them because they have their own house way out in the country.
And I was used to living in the city when Mom and Dad were still alive. What's your point? Was I supposed to be a happy-go-lucky teenager after our folks died and we had to move out to the middle of nowhere? We had to leave our friends and then go out there where there's all kinds of bugs and animals, and it was a lot for me.
I know, I was there too, remember? I know it was tough, but I'm just saying that you took out your frustrations with the situation on Grandma. And then, after you graduated high school, you just left the house without saying a word and didn't talk to us for years.
You're right, and that was a mistake that I made that I should have never done.
So then, why did you decide to come back now? That's what I want to know. And why bring your wife with you?
Well, because I'm older now, and I've really been thinking about living a life out in the city lately. Not to mention that it's something my wife wanted to try and do as well. I figured that Grandma was still living out here, so it was the perfect chance to move out there.
I get that, but you just showed up at her door with all your bags. You never warned her that you were coming at all.
No, I did ask her, and she said that it was fine if I came back to live with her. She said that it was okay, and then I went back, get it?
Well, I don't think that she understood that you were going to be moving into her home. She probably thought you were just coming to visit her.
Well, I don't really get what the big deal is. Her house is way too big for one person, and there's plenty of room for Harriet and I here.
I get that, but it's still Grandma's house. I mean, she had never even met Harriet before now. You really should have made sure that she understood you meant to live with her before you went over.
Look, you also moved out of Grandma's place, right? Last I heard, you were working in the city.
Yeah, that's right, but I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Basically, this is none of your business now, and you shouldn't be getting upset with me.
I'm just asking you to be a bit more considerate of what Grandma has done for us, and that you don't take advantage of her kindness. You can't just run around expecting everyone to change their life plans for you at the drop of a hat.
So you're telling me you think Grandma should have just kept on living out there all on her own with no one to take care of her?
I was a bit worried for her, actually, if you must know.
You know that her knees are starting to give out and she can't do all that she used to. That's why I'm here to help her out.
And what about your wife, Harriet? Her and Grandma have never even met. Even I've never met her. We didn't even know that you were married until well after the fact. But you're really all just gonna live together and get along?
Of course, Harriet isn't fussy and she's really adaptable to different situations.
Well, I hope so. But either way, I really feel like you went about this the wrong way.
No, it's a bit late to undo anything now, but it's fine. There's nothing to worry about at all.
Well, I still am worried, okay? Anyways, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be going back to her place soon too. I want to see you and I want to meet your wife.
Oh, you don't really need to do that, you know?
Well, I want to and I will, so there. I want to make sure that you're treating Grandma well. I also want an apology from you for all that you've done. Roy, what's the matter with you? Did you really throw our grandmother out of her own house? What were you thinking? Why would you do something like that?
What are you talking about? All I did was ask her politely to move out.
Of her own home? You basically just stole her house from her. I can't believe that you would do something like that.
Look, Grandma was not taking care of that house on her own, so I suggested that she move into a retirement home instead. I don't really get what's so horrible about that.
Please tell me that that's supposed to be some kind of bad joke. You literally stole her house right from under her. You know how much she loved that house.
But she's getting so old. The house was a mess when I first got here.
Well, then why don't you just help her take care of the house since you're the one who showed up there and said you would be living there? I thought you said that you moved back there to help take care of Grandma.
Oh, right. Well, I was helping out at first, but then I realized that Grandma wasn't getting her fair share and was just getting in the way more than anything.
I don't believe it. This was always your plan from the beginning, wasn't it?
Hey, do you watch YouTube ever?
I do? But what does that have to do with anything at all?
Well, there's a big trend for videos about country living, and I just really want to tap into that viewership and go viral. And I figured that if I could fix up Grandma's house and get her out of there, that it would be the perfect setting to start a new channel from.
And that's the reason why you kicked our Grandma out of her house?
I mean, that isn't the only reason. When this place is even more fixed up, I want to turn it into an Airbnb. People are always wanting to go to the country and try and experience how life is out here. But if Grandma was still hanging around, I think that she would just bum people out and make them not want to stay.
I don't even know what to say to you anymore, Roy.
Don't tell me you're jealous of my great idea. I'll bet that you're kicking yourself for not thinking of this first.
That's not it at all. I'm just sick and tired of the way that you've been treating our poor Grandma.
She was doing just fine. She had this huge place all to herself. But this house was wasted on her, and I'm actually gonna make something out of it. Besides, it's not like she's gonna be around for much longer anyway.
You made a big mistake though, Roy. You're through, do you know that?
Through? Me? No, I'm actually just getting started. I found the deed to the house while I was cleaning up the place, and now it's in my possession, which means that I own it.
I still can't believe that you would do this. She took us in after our parents died and gave us a place to sleep and 3 meals a day. How could you turn around and treat her like this? I won't let you get away with this, you know.
And just what are you or Grandma gonna do about it, huh? I'll bet that you're just upset because you know that when our parents died, they hardly had anything left to give us. And now you're just mad because I realized that that meant our only real inheritance was what our Grandma owned, and now I have it.
Do you really think that's what I'm upset about?
You're just pretending to be upset over Grandma so you can build your claim to the house. But it's already mine, and you can't have it. And Grandma can't do anything about it either.
Well, I'm not going to let Grandma live the rest of her life in some retirement home. I'll take her in and take care of her.
You do that. It'll save me the trouble of having to find something for her. But I hope you realize that you're still not getting a single cent out of this house.
I wasn't thinking about that at all, actually.
I've taken all of Grandma's stuff, it's all mine. But good luck taking care of her. I doubt you'll be able to make much off of her pension checks. Anyway, I don't have anything more to say to you. But just know that I never want to see you around here ever again.
Grandma, really sorry to keep you waiting. I just got off work now, and I'm on my way to pick you up. Oh, don't worry about that, Ren. I just arrived at the bus station now, so I haven't been waiting at all. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry for sucking you into this mess. Grandma, please, you have nothing to apologize for at all. You didn't do anything wrong. The only person who's in the wrong here is my pig-headed brother, Roy. Honestly, I still don't get what he was thinking doing this to you, but I couldn't stand by and leave you alone after that. You really are such a sweet girl, do you know that? And even I never saw anything like this coming at all. I know, I'm so sorry this happened to you, Grandma. But we'll get your house back, I promise. Oh, don't worry about that either. There would be no point. Grandma, don't say that. You can't give up hope. You really don't want your house back? No, it really is better this way, maybe. Come on, I know that it's a bit rural, but it's not like the house was falling apart. I'm sure that it's still worth a lot of money. Or is this about Roy stealing the deed? Because I'm sure that it's still under your name and you still have every right to the property. No, it isn't that either. In fact, I'm not worried that Roy has the deed at all anyway. What do you mean by that? I mean that living out in the country is no easy task, especially when you have a big house to take care of as well. There were so many things that needed repairing when I left there, so many creeks that needed attending to. I see, but I think that Roy might already be aware of some of those problems. Don't you worry, Ren. I'm sure that before long we'll be hearing Roy sing quite a different tune.
Hey, Ren, just curious, is Grandma there?
Give me one reason why I should have to answer that question, Roy.
Well, she isn't answering any of my messages when I tried reaching out to her.
And what do you even want with her?
Well, things are kind of a mess over here, to be honest.
A mess? Kind of mess. What do you mean by that?
Well, for one, the trash collectors never pick up any of our trash, and all the neighbors have been really mean, and it's been so tough trying to buy from folks around here. I've been having to drive all the way back into town just to get some groceries.
I see. Yeah, that sounds like you're in quite the pickle.
I really didn't think that Grandma's neighbors would be so standoffish, but I guess there's not much else you can expect from backwoods hicks like these.
Are you sure that they're not all just mad at you, Roy? Maybe it might have something to do with you stealing Grandma's house from her. I'm sure that no one liked watching that happen.
But I'm actually making good use of the house. I'm gonna make money off of this. It's my birthright. Surely I'm entitled to at least this. You're just jealous of me.
I'm not jealous, but you're clearly still not over our parents' passing.
You have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Actually, you're the one who doesn't know anything. When our parents passed, the only thing they had to leave us with was their debt. That's why nobody wanted to take us in. No one but Grandma, that is.
Debt? Wait, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about debt.
I heard the whole story from Grandma, so you can choose to believe it or not.
So then, Grandma was the one that took it all on?
That's right. You were always so upset for never being left anything by our parents, but it was actually Grandma who saved us from being saddled with that debt, and who raised us as her own after our parents passed.
Ugh, fine, I get it. You can tell her that she can move back here if she wants to, I guess.
I'm afraid that it's too late for that. Grandma isn't going to move back into that house.
What do you mean?
Well, you said that you were going to put her in a home, right? Instead, I found her a lovely condo unit geared for the elderly. And I can live with her there as her caretaker.
But wait, Grandma's still healthy, right? There's no need for her to live in a place like that. And how is she supposed to take care of her garden and stuff?
Roy, who do you think kicked her out of her house and separated her from the only life she knew in the first place?
Well, sure, but I didn't realize that Grandma took on all the debt after our folks died.
I don't care. You're still not addressing the main problem, which is that you kicked our Grandma out of her house.
Well, tell her that I'm sorry and I didn't know the full story. Please, this house is seriously a mess. The water heater isn't working, there's leaking from the ceiling. I need to know what else needs fixing here.
Why don't you just go online and hire a contractor to take a look at it?
I tried calling, but no one is going to be able to come out this far for a long time. Grandma's the only one that knows this place better than I do.
Yeah, Grandma was also a pretty big deal around town as well. Everyone knew and loved her there, and you kicked her out. It's just like Grandma said.
Hold on a sec. Has that old hag been spreading rumors about me to all these hicks? Is she the one telling them to act like total jerks to me?
It's not that at all. What you don't understand about living out there is that people don't think like they do in the city. They help each other out when their neighbors are in need. That's how people live out there. You've already proven yourself to be someone who could never understand that mindset.
Wait, no, please. I really am so sorry. Tell Grandma that she can come back here and we can figure something out. I haven't gotten any real work down here. Everyone is mean, and even Harriet is saying that she wants to move away.
Well then, why don't you just move away?
Because I've already sunk all my money into this damn house! We moved here because I was positive that this would be a sure thing, but nothing has gone how I thought it would.
Well, then it sounds to me like the only person you can blame this mess on is yourself. If you really think life out in the country is so hard, you shouldn't have moved out there in the first place.
You're right, I messed up. I should never have kicked Grandma out, so please, you have to help me. I promise I'll never do anything like this ever again.
I already told you that it's too late. Grandma isn't going to be moving back there. Especially not to go and help you, the way that you had betrayed her.
But I don't have any more! Tell her that she can move in and pay me rent and that'll fix everything!
I really don't think that Grandma would ever want to live in the same space as you ever again. You had your chance to make things work with her when you showed up to live there, but you even screwed that up.
But then, could you at least tell her to send me a little money every month to help with expenses? Even just some money to move out would be great.
Stealing her house wasn't enough. Now you want her to pay you? You must seriously be crazy.
Please, Ren, I'm begging you here. We're siblings, we help each other, right? This whole mess could cost me my marriage. What will I have after that?
I already told you, you had your chance to play the family card before you kicked Grandma out, and I hope your wife does leave you. That's what you get for what you did to the woman who took you in and raised you.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm so sorry. Please, you have to forgive me.
It's too late. We never want to hear from you ever again. So just leave us alone and deal with this mess and your own life on your own. I heard that about a month after our last conversation, Roy's wife Harriet moved back in with her parents. It wasn't long before Roy also gave up on the house and cut his losses. He tried selling the house, but it was quickly revealed that he had forged his signature on the deed and that it didn't even really belong to him. The divorce followed soon after that, and I don't know where Roy went. Of course, I don't really care what happened to him anyways. I'll never be able to forgive Roy for how he betrayed Grandma. He showed his true colors in that moment and gave us no other choice but to leave him. As for Grandma and I, we moved into that condo that I mentioned, and Grandma even started a community garden on the roof because she missed it so much. She sold her house in the countryside to pay for the rent, and even though she misses her old life, she always tells me how grateful she is that I stuck by her side. Meanwhile, although my life was thrown for a bit of a loop with all of this, I never stopped pursuing my own career and was more than happy to move in with Grandma. I thought that I would be so busy taking care of her that I would have to take on less work hours, but being in the condo seems to have reinvigorated Grandma. Now she seems more healthy than ever, and it's almost as if she's taking care of me more than I am of her. Of course, I still help out wherever I can, but she's a tough old woman who insists on doing many things herself. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.